So in today's video, we're looking at mounting the RED Komodo with the Tokina 11-16 2.8, the Core SWX V-mount battery plate and nano battery on the Zhiyun Crane2s. It's somewhat of a spiritual successor to the first video I did mounting the RED Komodo with the Tokina 11-16 on the Weeble backwards, but the Crane2s has a lot more power when it comes to weight, so it can handle things like the Core V-mount battery system and the cage that I had, which I didn't use when I did the Weeble video. So let's take a look and see how this combo works. Let's hit it. Alrighty, so we are out here with the Komodo and the Crane2s, so let's put it in the backwards configuration. Alrighty, so as you can see, the gimbal is started, and we have started it backwards. Now, the cool part about the Crane2s is that the motors are really strong. So what you do is you put it into what would normally be selfie mode, and you tap this button right here 3 times. So we're going to tap it 3 times. And you notice it smoothly turns around into this mode. Now, as you can see, I'm holding the gimbal, I'm holding the camera, and there's really not a crazy amount of limitations if you're okay holding the camera like this. Now, one of the things that makes this situation possible is having the back rear handle right here. So in order to do this combination, you really need this rear handle. But as you can see, you can get a lot of shots pretty easily with this setup. So let's talk about limitations using this setup. There's really only 2 limitations. One is on this bar right here, you can actually not go past where the tilt axis meets parallel with this bar. So as you can see, once you go there, it's locked in place. It can't go any further. So that's one negative of using this combo. But again, a lot of people can work around it. I certainly can work around it, but it is absolutely worth knowing, because if you don't know it's there, a lot of the times you're just gonna keep hitting that little hard stop. So you do need to know that it's there. The other negative, which is pretty inherent, is the roll motor is right here. Now, as long as you know where it is, it actually stays out of the way for the most part. But if you go too high up, eventually the roll motor will hit your lens. So you need to keep that in mind. So with these negatives, one may ask yourself, why would I use a Crane2s over a Crane3s if you're going to have to work with these negatives? Well, that really comes down to 2 simple answers. The first one is the portability. Once you strip this entire gimbal down, it can pretty much fit in any suitcase, and it's really easy to travel with, especially compared to using the Crane3s. The second is the quick release plate. Right here, there's a quick release plate where you can take off the whole camera and put it right back on, and it's still balanced. What's cool about my setup is I actually have a tripod plate down here. So with the quick release plate, I can just take the camera off really quick, put it in a handheld configuration, put it in a tripod configuration, and then when I want to put it back on the gimbal, I just strip everything off, slide the quick release back in place on the gimbal, and I'm set to go for gimbal shooting, which you can't really do with the Crane3s or even as well on the Weeble. Just to be frank, the Weeble quick release system is not nearly as good as the quick release system that the Crane2s offers. So that's going to be it for today's video. I hope I could help some of you decide if you were on the fence about using the Zhiyun Crane2s with the RED Komodo. It's interesting that it can use some heavier setups if mounted in reverse. There's just obviously some of those quirks that you have to deal with if you want to do that setup. Otherwise, you may be better off getting a DJI RS2 or even Zhiyun's Crane3s. But for my purposes, the Crane2s seems to really work. So if you have any questions about anything I maybe didn't go over in today's video, make sure to hit me up in the comments below. And if you liked today's video, you got knowledge out of it, please make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay tuned to see when the next video like this comes out on the channel. And without further ado, my name's Geoff Fagien. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.